Starting October 1st, Filmocracy will post a new video on social media recommending top-notch horror films for your viewing pleasure. We will try to stray away from the usually recommended horror films and shout out the underrated heroes, the movies that definitely need your attention. Every day for the month of October, we will give a mini review explaining why these movies are so awesome. So stay tuned and get ready for some gore, guts, and terror in our first annual Filmocracy's 31 Horror Movies to See. Dead Alive. We all heard of the Evil Dead franchise, but did you know there's a film just as sadistic and gory as those all-time classics? Dead Alive, or its original name outside of the States, Brain Dead, is a gross-out horror film by visionary director Peter Jackson. While it's viscerally tough to stomach the gross gags, think of this movie as a Rube Goldberg machine of special effects magic tricks. Put on your creative hat and try to guess how each visual gag was crafted. Trust us when we say you'll have a bloody good time. Digging Up the Marrow. From Adam Green, creator of the popular Hatchet franchise, comes a more subdued horror film that uses found footage to its fullest extent. What makes this film shine is the great creature designs from collaborator and artist Alex Pardee. We get a scary yet mystical film full of scary and amazing prosthetic work that brings these obscure-looking creatures to life. Digging Up the Marrow is a short thrill that will leave a lasting impression and curiosity of a fantastically established world.
He's right here in front of us now.
I don't see it.
Turn it on. Turn on the light.
No.
Turn on the light if it's here. I want to see it.
Turn off that light.
Turn on the light.
The Headhunter. Don't let this low-budget feature fool you. The Headhunter is the real deal. A tough-as-nails Viking warrior sets on a vengeful mission to kill the creature that took his family from him. The Headhunter relies on amazing prosthetic effects and an all-star performance from Christopher Rye to give us a very small and personal tale of death and revenge. Check out director Jordan Downey's social media and urge him to give us more of The Headhunter. Gotem. We have a special one for you today. Although this is a show, we still want to recommend watching all the episodes, since they're all under 10 minutes and add up together to just about feature length. Gotem is a fantastic short story anthology series. You get a taste of everything: gore, ghosts, and ghouls. Gotem is a solid entry that will give you perfect bite-sized horror of all flavors. We promise that some of these twisted tales will have you hugging your pillow. 5. Creep. A fantastic British-German creature feature. Creep is an old-school, low-budget horror film that made waves in England when it was first released. A woman on a train ride home finds out something sinister dwells in the dark, decrepit tunnels of the London Underground system. We don't want to spoil what happens next throughout the film. Watch your back and prepare for Creep. Day 6, The Platform. This stomach-churning, high-concept horror film from Spain has some of the most gruesome visuals we've seen. A single platform of food descends down hundreds of floors in a prison-like facility. Prisoners on each floor have minutes to eat what they can from the same buffet before the platform continues down, leaving each below the scraps of the previous. It's a brutal allegory for the descending nature of class-based hierarchies. This deep and multi-layered horror thriller will keep you on your toes from beginning to end. Just try to avoid eating while watching this film. You've been warned.
Day 7. Lovely Molly. One of the most underrated films on our list. This deep and complex psychological horror movie is directed by Eduardo Sanchez, the same guy who made the game-changing Blair Witch Project. This film is extremely creepy and uncomfortable. A slow burn at times, but when the movie decides to ramp up, it'll leave you shocked at the sheer brutality that comes out of left field. By the end of the film, you will be left gripping your couch in fear with a huge surprise ending. We highly recommend Lovely Molly for something terrifying, new, and refreshing. Check it out. 8. The Loved Ones. A horror film from Down Under. The Loved Ones is an Australian horror movie that really turns the cliché prom night slasher film into a very unique and brutal film. Beautifully shot and very humorous in the most dark and wicked ways. The Loved Ones will have you on the edge of your seat in this awesome and unpredictable slasher film.
What are you looking at? Bring the hammer, Daddy.
Day 9. Under the Skin. One of the most disturbing movies on the list. Under the Skin is another slow burn film that has some of the most fucked up imagery we've seen in cinema. Light on gore, but don't worry. This film still manages to be grotesque and horrifying. A fantastic performance from Scarlett Johansson. The film is simple in premise, but masterful in execution. An otherworldly being comes to Earth with an agenda to study humanity. After some successful abductions, the alien being becomes more curious of what it really means to be human. Day 10. Suspiria 2018. We all know about Dario Argento's masterpiece psychedelic horror film Suspiria. We feel like its 2018 spiritual remake is a bit underrated and needs more attention and love. Directed by art house director Luca Guadagnino from Call Me By Your Name, Suspiria 2018 takes the 1977 film and goes in a different direction. Less psychedelic and more sweat-inducing fever dream. Some of the imagery was hard to get out of our heads. Suspiria is top-notch psychological and body horror at its finest. Why not make it a cool double feature with the original? Day 11. They Live. This John Carpenter classic has a very interesting premise. A man down on his luck, played by the late and great Roddy Piper, gets himself in a pickle when he finds a mysterious box of sunglasses that lets the user see the ugly truth of American society. You need to watch this film to witness the insane twists and turns this film throws at you. Just one hell of a fantastic action-packed horror film, or a social commentary on dictatorship and democracy? Watch the film and decide. Day 12. Bone Tomahawk. A slow burn, but the wait will be worth every minute. Bone Tomahawk is a horror western that takes its time to develop characters, But once the horror decides to kick in, it ramps up to 1,000,000 real quick. Some of the most brutal and disgusting kills. This movie is in your face and has no problem being there. Bone Tomahawk is a bold and brutal horror western that will have you anticipating what the filmmaker has cooking up next. This film is a must-watch. Day 13, Audition. From legendary director Takashi Miike comes his most subdued yet beautifully sadistic horror film. A man sets up a fake production audition to find a potential mate. Enter Asami, a well-reserved, beautiful, and shy woman who falls for our protagonist's tricks. The two end up dating. It isn't until later on that our main protagonist finds out the dark truth of our beautiful villain. Another slow burn that takes its time to peel back the layers of these complicated characters. A worth watch just for the ending alone. It will leave you speechless and wincing away with one of the most brutal and depraved surprise endings in horror movie history.
14. Terrifier. A good old-fashioned killer clown slasher feature. Terrifier is a straight-up bloody good time with a soon-to-be cult icon in the making. Art the Clown will definitely have you shivering under your sheets. Let your sense of realism stay out of this one. Let your sense of realism stay out of this one as you watch one of the craziest and bloodiest films in some time. Terrifier is exactly that. Terrifying.
So let's slash my tires?
He knows this is your car. He saw us getting into it earlier.
What's going on, sweetie?
It's here.
What's here?
It's coming.
What? What's coming, Billy?
Filmocracy is here.
Huh?
Filmocracy is the next big thing for streaming. You can earn cash and prizes just by watching movies, and even attend the world's top virtual film festivals. And best of all, it's free.
Oh wow, I want to be a part of Filmocracy.
Well, just go to filmocracy.com and be a part of the next hub for independent filmmakers.
Will do.
And just remember, they're the film fam for the film fans.
That's awesome! I'm definitely signing up after I'm done with this.
Day 15. Inside. A scissor-wielding maniac is after a widowed pregnant woman. Need to say more? The French film Inside from 2004, not to be confused with its lackluster American remake, is a nail-biting, tension-filled thriller that will keep you on your toes from beginning to end. Day 16. The House of the Devil. The ultimate horror house. House of the Devil is another slow burn on our list that consistently keeps an eerie mystery. The film takes its time to slowly reveal the insanity that awaits in the later half of the film. House of the Devil is a breath of fresh air when it comes to the horror genre and pays respects to its roots. A modern classic that can fit proudly next to its predecessor. Day 17. The Perfection. Explaining this film is not an easy task. The Perfection is an extremely unique film that will have you guessing and feeling after each and every revelation is revealed to its audience. The Perfection is a somewhat hidden gem that needs to be showcased as a modern horror full of twists and turns. Watch this film if you want to experience sheer insanity. Day 18. Aterrados. A Spanish fear fest. Aterrados is a terrifying film with some nightmare-inducing visuals. We follow a group of police investigators who are trying to figure out the murders that have occurred in a house. Is it paranormal or all just a hoax? Watch and find out.
Day 19. Underwater. This film released early this year, and we feel it didn't get the love it deserved. Underwater is a great, suspenseful, atmospheric, Lovecraftian horror feature that will have you scared of what lies beneath our modern oceans. Great performances and visual effects. This movie hits everything to make a horror movie that is top-notch and high caliber. Day 20. Tales of Halloween. An anthology movie perfect for the holidays, Tales of Halloween is a bite-sized horror that gives us enough scares, gore, and laughs in a perfect mesh of scary tales for dark nights. Tales of Halloween is an amazingly fun time and a perfect movie to watch in a group. I See You. A classic whodunit story. I See You is a murder mystery that will keep you on your toes from beginning to end. We dare to guess how this film will end. I See You is an awesome mystery horror film that you haven't seen before. 2. The Autopsy of Jane Doe. Creepy and atmospheric, The Autopsy of Jane Doe is a well-executed film about a dead woman brought to a mortuary. A father and son begin an autopsy on a dead woman when supernatural events begin to occur. Is the dead woman cursed, or is it all in our main characters' heads?
11 o'clock, I'm all yours. Subject is in her mid to late 20s.
23. The Invitation. Possibly the slowest film in our list. The Invitation takes its time to build characters and relationships. When the story begins to unravel itself, an eerie and disturbing plot begins to show, and by the end of it, you will be shocked at one of the biggest surprise endings ever. This film needs to be watched just by the ending alone. Check it out. The Girl with All the Gifts. We tried to refrain from adding too many zombie movies on our list, but The Girl with All the Gifts is a special zombie movie. It's unique enough to feel like a breath of fresh air. In a zombie-infested world, a small community of people work non-stop to find a cure. A group of children seem to be immune to the fungal disease, and it's up to one specific girl to save humanity. Part Last of Us, part 28 weeks later. The Girl with All the Gifts is an exciting yet terrifying adventure.
Day 25. Perfume. Unexpectedly grim, this fairy tale of murders follows the story of a man obsessed with capturing the scent of a woman, forever. While set in 18th century France, this movie uses every modern cinematic technique to enhance the experience of a smell-seeking artist, hellbent on the mythical journey to find the perfect scent.
Shin Godzilla. What? Godzilla isn't a horror movie, right? 2016 Shin Godzilla would make you say otherwise. In the 30-plus films, we have never seen Godzilla so terrifying and fear-inducing. He truly is the god incarnate in this film. Every time he makes an appearance in this film, we know that there is an impending doom following just right behind him, with the scariest look to the great big green lizard. His deadpan look and grotesque features, this Godzilla is surely one kids and young adults will be rooting for. What will humanity do when an unstoppable force comes to end it all? Watch and find out. Konjam, a Korean paranormal found footage film that pulls no stops. Konjam is a fun and expertly crafted film that definitely packs in the scares. Set in an abandoned asylum, a group of content influencers search the creepy asylum while live streaming their findings. Konjam is a fun flick that will have you scared to be alone at the house. One Bedroom. A young woman finding a place to live gets her chance when she finds an apartment complex for cheap. It isn't until she finds out the whole apartment complex is run by a cult that does not let you escape. A very unique and interesting premise that uses it to its fullest extent. One Bedroom is a fresh new take on the creepy neighbor next door. It leaves you gasping in shock and second-guessing if your neighbors have any sinister plots once the film reaches its credits. Youre Next. An awesome home invasion horror film. Youre Next is an amazing Halloween treat with great kills and a great female heroine to root for and cheer when she lays her vengeance on the masked assailants that came to crash the party. Hush. Directed by the popular director Mike Flanagan. Hush is a low-budget passion project. The premise is unique. A deaf woman in her cabin is stalked and hunted by a creepy masked individual. Hush is a great thriller with very clever ways to scare the pants out of us. Trick or Treat. We saved the best for last. One of the greatest Halloween movies ever. Trick or Treat is a perfect encapsulation of what the essence of Halloween truly is. An anthology series that manages to connect every out-of-this-world story into a perfectly intertwined spook fest. If there's one movie that needs to be watched during this time, it has to be Trick or Treat.
You gotta be kidding me.
I hate Halloween.
So that's it, 31 spooktacular horror shorts. If you enjoyed these, please subscribe and follow our social media. Let us know if you want more of this kind of video and we will make sure to deliver. If you have a short film yourself that you want to upload, visit filmocracy.com, the hub for short independent films. Join our community, join the film family. Links in the description for everything. Also, if you have any short films you would like to recommend, please let us know in the comments section below. We read everything you send. That's it for now. See you next time.